Hi, welcome back to my channel. I feel like just a certain like type of person that might want to watch this video will watch this video. I'm not going to worry too much about who does or doesn't watch my video, but I wanted to do a video because I did a video recently about money and finances, and I feel like it comes around in cycles for me, this train of like wanting to do my business and like being entrepreneurial and stuff like that, because I feel like my priorities are all around different places at the moment. But lockdown brought this like upcycling idea for me, and it was kind of put on the back burner, and I literally just have these like kind of swings of like I want to do that, and I literally feel like yeah, I literally feel like my like entrepreneurial like juices flowing again, basically. Yeah, I feel like, because I will just preface with this, because I feel like it's my personal video, it's not like a business, like it's a chit chat, you know, it's a bit of inspo and bit of interest for your day if you want to look at it like that. It's not like I'm not telling you how to do it, even though I do feel like I have a video on that. Like how to start a business, which flunked, by the way, so it might not be the best idea, but if you to watch my videos, I'm no fucking millionaire or anything like that, but sorry, so I feel like when it comes to the entrepreneurial side of things, yeah, I feel like because I've got like ADHD tendencies, I always like, it's not necessarily because I'm bored of the idea, it's just that like I go like to the place where like I've got all these plans, right, and they don't always, I have executed them in the past, but not in a way that was maintainable, or not in a way that was good enough to really make an income from or anything like that. Because my current train, I don't really give a fuck about like if people try and copy me. I feel like if you're going to copy me, there's enough market for it, especially people that literally watch my video like based in like loads of different areas of the world. So I don't get like, please take my idea if you want. But my idea at the moment, I literally want to do like spiritual services, as in like tarot necessarily, possibly. Again, like for anyone that's like might not like watch my channel or subscribe to my channel because they think I'm like some sort of like scary person because I can do tarot services. Divination and like fucking angel cards and aura reading and aura cleansing and fucking chakra toning and all that stuff might be a good shout. But also I was really into the like DIY of it and all of the like stuff that goes with like just to preface, by the way, all that stuff, like I don't really do loads of like witchy content or like spiritual content. I feel like spiritual is fine, but I did a New Age to Jesus video, just to like quickly disclaim, I did do a New Age to Jesus video where I like talked about like how I had some like negative experiences with that kind of stuff, and it wasn't something that like I wanted to continue with. So the spiritual side of it is really like if I feel called to do that and like protected to do that, because it might not be something that I necessarily actually want to do. But I feel like besides the spiritual stuff, which honestly isn't like the main part of what businesses I'd want to do, it would actually be more on the side of like a shop. So like, to be honest with you, it was all about like DIY at the beginning. I was very much inspired to like make things and make scrunchies because I got a sewing machine, and I was like away with like because I really like fashion and stuff. Like I have like a bit of a shopping, I wouldn't say I have a shopping problem, I used to have a shopping problem. Or I used to have, I wouldn't call it a problem, I've always liked to shop, like from a really, really young age. I really like fashion, and I really like sort of like specially made things, like things where you go, like the exact thing pretty much that I'm like wanting to go to is like where you go to like a little market or something and you see like handmade, like beautiful, like designed like hair scrunchies or something like that, and they're at a reasonable price, and they're like an interesting piece that like you wouldn't like find in the high street. So that's always been my like energy, but I feel like it's kind of refined itself since my initial kind of like launch, because I did have like a shop, and it was really just like me buying stuff from the charity shop and trying to resell it online. But the thing about selling stuff online is that it would be a good thing, but I feel like I'd really have to go about advertising it in a certain way. So I'm not saying online is not the way, but also I'm looking into doing it in person, so really it would only be sort of where I am that would really be truly affected by it. But I would like to do an online store as well. I feel like doing both would be good. So I feel like in terms of like products and stuff, because like this is more just like me telling you my business ideas, but it's also like I feel like there's always someone else in the world that's doing the same thing as you. So someone might come across this and be like, oh, this is a really good idea, because I'd kind of almost given up on the idea again, just because I had loads of other stuff going on, and I did kind of flunk last time I tried to do it. but it was really because I didn't advertise properly, and like the stuff I got wasn't like very high quality, and I was kind of just sort of like dipping my fingers in the water and stuff. I've done like a business as well when I was younger, but if you see these are little, like, these aren't what I'm going to sell, but these are like sterling, what are they called? Sterling steel. And then I got 3 for a tenner, like sets of earrings. So I got like these ones as well. These aren't what I'm selling. I'm not trying to like resell these. But the fact is, I went to someone's market, right? And I just thought, oh my god, there's such a market for like still people buying interesting pieces like that and selling them at a market cost. Because what fucked me over was like some of the stuff I'm gonna do. Like, I do want to sell DIY stuff, but I think maybe even initially, oh, and this necklace I got as well. I actually bought 2 separate times. I bought stuff from this store, but I thought initially, I was like, oh, like people can buy stuff on Temu, and like, because I have seen people like in shops and stuff really jump on the gold plated stuff. Initially I was going to do that, and I was going to do like gold plated stuff and make like a gold plated shop, but I've just seen that around so much where people were just like buying all this gold plated stuff, where like, I'm not being funny, like it just was being sold for like £20, which, to be fair, 20 years ago, buying something that was gold plated for £20, even now, to be fair, I've gone into New Look and I see things that are like sort of like £15 or whatever, like a nice like gold plated ring or whatever. Like, it's not really the cost so much as I feel like it's just been done a lot, and I feel like if it was something that someone else wanted to do and they made a good business out of it, like, cool. But I feel like for me, I maybe wanted a more diverse range, which is kind of why I liked this little shop that I went past. That kind of re-inspired me to like jump on this bandwagon, because it's just one of those things. I feel like divine timing is important, and it's like, I don't think it was the right time for me really to do all that stuff. But what's reintroduced to me is like things like Temu are actually really good like sourcing places for things, because I don't think, especially if you're not like an amazing seamstress, right, I know my way around a sewing machine. My sewing machine actually broke, so I haven't even got a sewing machine at the moment, but I feel like actually just ordering stock off Temu and stuff and selling them at costs that are like obviously just like at a profit, because what I worked out as well is I might go for a grant actually. In the UK they do sort of like business grants, which I might look into again, but I just think it might not be a full-time business straight away, so I don't think they'll want to give me the grant. But when I really looked at the profit margins that you need for like a part-time business, to like make a part-time income and even a full-time income, to be honest, the amount of sort of like daily income that you need is actually not that high, especially when you're buying things from like Temu. I've done this before. I literally, when I was 11, I did a market stall for little Pandora bracelets, and I do like 1 for like £4 and 3 for a tenner, probably the same as what I got off these. But literally the profit margins that you actually get like from selling kind of products that you'd buy off a place like Temu, you know, you can make any, you know, you can get a little £1 ring and try and sell it for £100 if it's like gold plated or whatever, if you wanted to. That's not really what I would do. I feel like I probably wouldn't go quite as low as this woman was, because it was a really good deal. I don't know if she was getting the stuff for like that cheap, but I feel like, just to like give an example, you buy something like this off Temu for like 99p, I'm not being funny, I doubt it costs too much more than that. I'd probably go for something maybe a little, because this isn't gold plated or anything. I do like the gold plated and I do like the sterling steel, and I feel like on average I'd probably be paying, I mean, anything from sort of like sort of £1.50 to like whatever, £5 or something, because you get like little earrings that are like completely silver, like 95. I used to be obsessed with silver. I've actually gone off silver a little bit, because I feel like I literally wore so much silver when I was younger. I just kind of gone off it a bit, which is why I like the steel, and I like the just regular jewellery, to be fair. But I think this might be like some sort of like stone, like you can tell on Temu. What I really like about Temu as well, that you can get like, this is some sort of like zircon or something, I think. I might be wrong, it might be some just plastic, but I'm pretty sure it's a zircon stone in there. And I'm not being funny, you buy a little piece of jewellery and you mark it up to either like a five or a tenner, or do like a deal like this woman did. You know, I'm not sure if I would be doing all the sterling steel. I do like the kind of, she did have some of these like nicer pieces that she was selling for a tenner, but I do like the more kind of some of the stuff like to be quite particularly how I like it. So sort of stuff like this, just like good sort of like quality or whatever. So it might be that I did like, I don't know, £7 each or 3 for 20 or something like that. So you know, something, I don't know if that's even a good deal, probably I don't know, like something like that. And then you get a markup of, for each 3 items, you're making like a £5 profit pretty much on each item, something like that, which is quite a healthy amount for one item, considering if you sell in somewhere that's well populated and you get a lot of traction and you potentially get a lot of interest, and I'm not being funny, like the vast majority of people can afford like a £5. This is my, you know, my market when it comes to things like, because I'm not being funny, I've noticed even in New Look, the jewellery's not super cheap. It's actually not that cheap, even though it's, you know, going to be the quality's going to be there, you know, and it's going to be manufactured properly and things like that. So I think that's the issue with like DIY and stuff. When you try and do like DIY, like I found that when I was doing it, you know, the quality has to be there. That's something I've noticed, you know, especially when you're selling second hand and stuff. You can't just put like, you know, it's not a charity shop unless you want to sell it like a charity shop. But I feel like what I learned from last time was I need the quality to be there for it to be like a decent business. Otherwise, you can sell secondhand stuff that's not the best of quality, but the standard I want is to potentially not be secondhand quality. Not that I have any issue with like vintage and stuff, but I think what my thing was last time was I was like chucking everything that I could see and trying to sell it and stuff, and it's just like I want to be more selective about the products I sell and stuff. So yeah, when you're getting a lot of traction, because the vast majority of people do have like, I mean I spent 20 quid on this store and I'm like not super rich at all. But when you see stuff and you see a good deal, that's the thing. Like if I walk past a store, right, and like that's a nice little necklace, like if someone's to like try and be selling that for like a £5 and it only costs them 99p off Temu, for example, like I would buy that for a £5. Like I might, you know, it might not be something that I just like naturally gravitate towards. If I'm like walking past somewhere, I might just like see a necklace, oh yeah, great, it's £5 or whatever. But when you see signs that say like £8 each, 3 for 20 or something like that, you know, people have that kind of money to spare for like something pretty, you know, and something individual, because I think, you know, as much as my generation, especially, and generations that come after me, are very much like geared towards the internet and very much kind of like internet savvy, and I think like a lot of even boomers and like, you know, millennials and stuff are very much like in tune with the internet and how, you know, the internet has like a good range of items, and often, to be fair, you can buy stuff cheaper off the internet. Not always though. I have noticed actually that sometimes when you're selling stuff, when you're buying stuff in person, it's actually the same price and sometimes even cheaper if you buy it in person. So it's not always like the internet is cheaper, to be honest. Because yeah, that's what put me off. I was like, oh, why would I sell these little rings and blah blah, where you can go on eBay or Temu or something and it's like £1.50 and everyone knows about it. But at the end of the day, when it comes to these small items, and honestly like luxury, not necessarily luxury, but these kind of cosmetic items, these like, you know, it's not going to be your toilet roll, it's not going to be your food, and it's not going to be clothes even necessarily, because I think even clothes is more of a needed item. I wouldn't say a luxury item, it is to a level, but it's like a slightly, it's not a need necessarily. Like I don't need this necessarily. Like you could say the zircon is good for my like chakras or something, but when it comes to like a sterling steel piece, you know, set of earrings, it's not necessarily a must. Like if I was to choose between that and food, like obviously I would get food, but yeah, what I'm saying is when it comes to cosmetic items, like people have more of a capacity to kind of be a bit frivolous about it, and especially when it comes to things like that are a bit different and a bit kind of like, I feel like people like a deal, and that's why I like the unique pieces of things like Temu as well, because you're not necessarily going to be able to find it for a start on Temu, even if you're like, oh, like that's really nice, but I can find it on Temu. You might not necessarily find the same one, for example, if you like the shape or whatever, you know, and when you get little pieces like off Temu or whatever, like you see like little rings and whatever that I could stock and sell, you know, you might not necessarily find that on the internet either. So people think, oh, like, not people, all people, but I feel like if you have like a decent price and obviously a profit, you know, just by turning up, putting your time into being there and selecting decent products and kind of, you know, providing that at a sort of like, you know, momentary basis rather than waiting for postage and stuff, that already adds kind of value. Because something else I've found as well is, as much as some companies and people do this, this is what put me off when I did see people buying like gold rings and stuff off Temu for like £2 and literally getting shops and trying to sell them for like £100. Like I've seen that. I've literally seen that. There's a shop near me. Like I'm not blaming them and they can do whatever they want, but I've literally seen shops recently where they've got these like gold plated earrings for like £200. I'm not being funny, like people do it, and like Swarovski and stuff, that's not all sterling silver, and like that's a very, very high profit margin, like, and it's a very, very like kind of, you know, like it's a high profit margin, and I was just like, that's not something I want to do. But obviously each their own. I'm not like blaming that company, but that's what put me off, because I was like, I don't want to do that. But obviously, again, it's not about them, it's not about me, but I think yeah, mine, I've always been interested. But yeah, what it taught me is, obviously for them it's different, because I suppose they've got like a shop to pay for, they've got like a properly you know, a shop which they pay a lot of rent for, and you know, they've got staff members and, you know, nice signs and heating and electricity and blah blah blah. Whereas I'm not being funny, when I start out it's probably going to be in like short-term market stores and stuff, you know, so I won't have to pay like an annual rent fee or anything, because I'm not looking to get a shop, at least not now. So, you know, maybe in the future. And I could like hire staff or something, I don't know, but the thing is about that kind of, yeah, so I'm definitely not down that road, even though I have explored that in the past, because it's been something that I've constantly come back to. But yeah, so I was like, oh, I'll buy cushions, sell cushions and stuff when I was making stuff, which I could still do, but again, I definitely think it's like a progression to this kind of stuff. And yeah, when it comes to markup, I feel like it's just what you're more comfortable, what you're comfortable kind of marking it up as, either for what, like, because what I've noticed, as I said, the value for that shop that I mentioned, the £200 markup thing, I suppose the value comes from the shop, and it comes from the experience of buying it and the brand, and you know, the whole fluff of it and the pizzazz of it. And I feel like that's where really the concept allows the markup. And I'm not being funny, that's marketing for you. Like, you know, the amount of stuff, I even did a video on why I don't shave my armpits, because I believe that razors in part we're influenced to shave our armpits because marketing companies sort of, you know, provide this sort of marketing and force this idea that women should shave their armpits and men should shave their faces, where really it doesn't really make a difference, you know. And that is marketing for you, like 24/7. Like, we're bombarded really with adverts and blah blah blah, and I'm not being funny, I feel like in Western society I have an appreciation for, you know, the luxuries and the availability of products that potentially aren't available everywhere, and you know, they are a luxury and they are accessible. So that being what it is, I'm rambling a bit, but yeah, that being what it is, it definitely is something to kind of to chew on a bit. I just think it's about how much you're comfortable, like what kind of service you're providing. I've done all this stuff already. I really have more and more of a clear vision of kind of, I'm very, very right at the beginning phases of this stuff. As I said, it's never even been fully properly, it's been dabbled with, and I did do a market stall when I was 11 to sell Pandora bracelets, or a few of those, and I did make a decent money from it, but obviously it was like a one-time or a two-time thing. I can't really remember how long it took me, sorry, how many stalls I did and stuff. But yeah, there's definitely, from a practical level, money to be made, like a full-time, like decent money. When I looked, actually, if you're in a traffic, you know, a fully kind of sort of highly congested area, in terms of you're going to get a lot of traffic, and say you sell, I'm not being funny, like I don't want to like do all of the maths here, but you sell kind of, I don't know, you aim to sell kind of 20 units on a good day or something, which sounds like a lot, but if you really add that up, you know, you're making a £5 profit. I am using the numbers here, but you make a £5 profit and you sell 20 items, that's like £100 in a day, where like you do a long shift. If you're on like a sort of minimum wage, you do like or say like a regular day, like say like you're on a wage of a job, you make £7 an hour, you know, and if you, it's enough to make a full-time wage basically. And especially when you've got like deals and stuff, because you could sell, like if you sell things individually, it would take longer to sell. But if you're trying to aim for 20 units, I feel like I'm on the fucking what's it called, The Apprentice. Yeah, oh my god, they don't make that anymore, I don't think. If anyone's seen The Apprentice, fuck it, like it if you've seen The Apprentice. No one will, because that's like super weird, but I just wanted to say it anyway. So anyway, yeah, literally, so because I have had a few supportive comments recently. I just get like the odd person, they're like, oh, you're like super cool, and like, oh, you're like such good energy, and I'm just like, I don't always respond because I just feel like I don't really know what to say, but I look at it and I think, yes, that's the vibe, that's like the intention. Because it's like, just I feel like if people got good vibes, like I wouldn't say you don't have an obligation to share it, but sometimes I feel like if you have that to give, like just do it, because like don't be shy, like don't stop yourself, because it's good karma at the end of the day. So yeah, it's not to be expected, but at the same time, like, you know, if you want to do that, like it's up to you. But yeah, so yeah, because if you're trying to sell 20 units and you've got, you know, a deal where you're selling 3 at a time, you only have to make what, like 5 sales or something, you know, using the deal, and you've made your entire daily money. You know, because if you do that 5 days a week, you'll make £100 5 days a week. That's £2,000 a month. Like that's a decent wage. That's like double basically a small, you know, a minimum wage income. Like £2,000 a month is decent. That's 24k a year. Like that's like middle class wage almost. You know, it's more than enough money. More than enough money, especially if you've been on a minimum wage before, you know, and you're used to £1,000 or less in a month from working a full-time income. Like it really makes all the difference to make £2,000 rather than £1,000. It's just like a lot of money, to be fair. Like it's really, I've always said I'm one of those people. I grew up in a middle class household. Like it wasn't my money, you know, I wasn't able to spend it whenever I wanted and blah blah blah. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm just like have to be working class, but I've always been one of those people where it's like I'm quite happy, and I actually prefer going to like the pound shop and like Primark rather than like designer couture crap. Like there's a place for couture, I like juicy couture, I can't lie. And there's a place for like luxury items, but there's only so many luxury items I find that I can get anything from before you start feeling gluttonous and you start feeling kind of, it's different for different people. If one person, I've seen people on YouTube and I actually love watching them. I think it's called Amber Shoal. I don't usually like to talk about people, but she's one of them where I'll watch a YouTube video of hers and she goes on this like 10k like spending spree. And I feel like especially people I've seen as well, like Christina Viegas or something like that. She's made her own shop, and I think she did like stripper vlogs and stuff. And I think, I don't think she does that anymore, and now she's got her own candle business because she's like stopped stripping, she's had baby. And I just think I have so much like respect for people that like, because I have to just mention as well, there's another YouTuber I watch called Savway, and she literally like, you know, I like love YouTube. She's kind of like why I want to do a YouTube channel. I've seen people like me before, and they're little tiny YouTubers, and they think, oh, I just like love this YouTuber, I love this YouTuber, I want to be, you know, that's why I do it, because I love them and I love getting something. That is so true. Like I get so much from YouTube, so I have to give it back. I'm there like, if you're good vibes, just give it out. Like I've got this like super great vibe, and like no one has a great vibe. I'm literally not like that. I'm just like, I get so much from YouTube, like it's just like me time to give it back. But yeah, so yeah, I think she works at like Hooters now or something. I'm not like giving everyone's business, but I was like, you know, I don't think they have Hooters in the UK, but you know, it looks like hard work, and it's like, but she makes so much money off it. And I think, you know, like, and she was like doing her accounting, and she made something like £700 in like a long shift or something. I swear it's like that much. And it's like fuck tons of money, like fuck tons of money. I'm not sure it was like £700, but, or like, I don't know, like £300, like £400, it was like hundreds of pounds. It was over £100, like, you know, loads more than that. It was really decent money. And I thought, you know, especially for someone like Amber Shoal, and she's got like 3 million subscribers, and she's got all the, you know, like, I wouldn't say all the money in the world, 'cause it's all relative, you know. If you've got money and you make a really decent income, even if you're like a doctor or something, you get 60k, you know, it goes on a house and kids and whatever, and bills and holidays and shit that just comes in a nice car and running a car and blah blah blah. It's definitely all relative, I feel like, just because you can be in a better financial situation than someone else, 100%, but, you know, and you cannot worry, it doesn't buy happiness, you know, and it does go, the money does go somehow or another, I feel like, but at the same time, yeah, it would be nice to feel a bit more financially secure if I could, because it is quite stressful when you do run out of money. It actually sucks. I hate it. It's like such a big stress considering I've never had to deal with that when I was younger. But anyway, sorry, I feel like I've like just been chatting for 25 minutes about like not a great deal, but yeah, I was just saying that like if you do feel that you have like all the money in the world and you want to go buy designer handbags and that's what you want to do and that makes you feel happy, like I'm like not gonna judge that, you know. But I'm like one of these people where like I'd want to give, like, I'm not being funny, even have to make money and like give some to charity and stuff and like people that need it, or be like one of these channels where you like just randomly give people like £1,000. Wouldn't that be fun? Like I'd want to be one of those people when I'm walking down the street and just be like given £1,000. I'd be like, yeah, like thanks. Like I almost wouldn't want to take it though, because I'd feel like the karma from that would be like pretty extreme. Like I don't know if I'd have to like have some like karmic debt with them in the future or something, because like they paid me £1,000. I'd be a bit like concerned, like unless they literally were just like, oh, I have to do it for a video and like I get all this money back, so don't worry about it. Like I'd be like, yeah, okay, like I would probably take it if they tried to offer me £1,000, but I'd also be a bit like confused like why they would do that. But anyway, I feel like I'll stop there because I'm just like chatting shit. But yeah, I feel like if you're called to do something, I'm definitely a believer of like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like I don't think you should just like sit back and stop it from happening actively and like cause that resistance. But I feel like if you go with your intuition and you like keep a healthy like level mind, like generally, like not, you know, not by other people's standards but from like your own standards, like, you know, blessings will be given and like things will happen like in the way they're supposed to and in the timing they're supposed to. And I feel like if you've got a calling and a feeling to do something, like it's your sign to do it, because like because that was my sign when I got all those earrings. I was just like, it made me think, and I was just like, oh my god, there actually is a market, you know, for that stuff, and I shouldn't just like give up on my dreams. So no, because you can make a good living from it, and people think, oh, you know, you have to work you know, in an IT job and get some middle class income to really make any money, or you have to be a doctor and blah blah, but there is serious money to be made outside of that, I'll just put it that way. So yeah, thanks for listening. And I'm not being funny, like you know, I'm not talking about strippers so much here, but they make fuck tons of money. I'm not saying I'm gonna be a stripper because like I'm like super anxious and whatever, but it's like people that are strippers, right, and even people like I've said about Savoy working at Hooters. So like overly personal about people's lives, I think, on this video, but I'm not being funny. She made like £400 in like a night, and I was just like, you know, that's better money, I'm sure, than like certain like doctors or whatever. I don't know, I haven't added it up, I'm not sure, but I'm not being funny. I'm sure people that are like strippers, right, because I've seen the money that they make, because they have them all over YouTube. If you type in like stripper vlog, like how much I made, and you get like hundreds of pounds out from like one shift, and like let's do the math on that. So like you make £300 on a night or something like that, or possibly more, I don't know. So like £300 on a night, and you work like 5 nights, right, in a week. That's £1,500 a week, which is £6,000 a month, which is, what's that in a year? 6 times 12, we'll say like 5 times 12, just for the sake of this like hypothetical situation, even though it's probably more. Let's say like 5 times 12, 60. So that's 60k, yeah, that's like the same as a doctor for buying a stripper. I'm just saying that like the way, you know, certain people believe money can be made, like, you know, people might think, oh, the strippers like might not have any money or whatever. I'm not being funny. They're probably making more than, you know, a junior doctor, so, or more, probably more, you know, and there's just a lot of money to be made in many, many different areas, and you don't have to take the fucking most seen path to make your money. That's definitely a lesson I learned a long time ago, about the path, the most travelled path is usually not the path that you will be going down, or anyone will be going down necessarily, but it's just a path that, you know, is most kind of reproduced because it's socially acceptable, normative and comfortable for people to get their head around. You know, it doesn't mean it's the best path by far, I'm sure, because I would not be a very good doctor, and I probably would accidentally give someone the wrong thing, and I don't think I would be a doctor. So anyway, thanks for listening, bye.